In the spotlight tonight is Tony Rennick from Boston, a retired civil servant. His specialist subject is the history of British steam locomotives. Howard Pitzey from Staplehurst, a programme investment manager. And his subject is the Beach Boys. Anthony Martin from Crediton is an administrator. His specialist subject, the history of Exeter. And Patrick Gibson from Wigan, a software developer whose subject is the films of Quentin Tarantino. I'm John Humphreys and welcome to a new series of Mastermind, the gold standard of quiz shows. It's a simple formula. The four contenders get 2 minutes to answer questions, first on their specialist subject and then on their general knowledge, and only 2 minutes. The clock is ruthless. The winner tonight goes through to the next round and the chance of entering the final and winning this glass bowl and, far more importantly, the title Mastermind. So, let's get on with it. Our first contender, please. And your name is?
Tony Rennick.
Your occupation?
Retired civil servant.
And your chosen subject?
British Steam Locomotives.
In 2 minutes, starting now. Which British Railway standard class that was introduced in 1952 was a smaller version of the Britannia Pacifics?
Clans.
Yes. In which imperial unit is the tractive effort of a locomotive normally measured?
Pounds.
Yes. Which Italian engineer designed the valve gear that was fitted to a number of Black 5s and 73000s and also to Duke of Gloucester?
Caprotti.
Correct. What name was given to Churchward's 462, the Great Bear, when it was rebuilt as a castle?
Carnarvon Castle.
Viscount Churchill. Which class introduced by the Southern Railway in 1930 were reputedly the most powerful 440s ever built in Europe?
Schools.
Yes. The Scottish variants of the Great Central Directors were all named after characters from whose novels?
It's Walter Scott's.
Yes. What was the unusually high boiler pressure of the GWR 10XX County class when they were introduced in 1945?
300.
280 pounds per square inch. The wheel arrangement of the LSWR's class 0298 is given as 24OWT. What did the WT stand for?
Well tank.
Yes. The Gresley K4 Moguls were introduced in 1937 for working on which line?
West Highland.
Correct. What name was given to the LMSR's turbomotive when it was rebuilt as a conventional locomotive in 1952?
Princess Anne.
Correct. What wheel arrangement did Q in the classification of former LNER locomotives denote?
080.
Correct. Stanier's Black 5s were first introduced in 1934. How many of these locomotives were built in total?
842.
Correct. Nicknamed Big Bertha, Sir Henry Flower's 010 locomotive 58100 was designed to assist trains up which incline?
Licky.
Yes. Which locomotives introduced in 1938 had a light axle loading enabling them to work over routes barred to the halls and granges?
Manners.
Yes. What nickname was given to the Boo-Lead Pacifics because their appearance resembled a certain meat container?
Spam cans.
Yes. Where did all 14 members, I've started so I shall finish, all 14 members of the Southern Railway's USA class work until 1962?
Southampton.
They did indeed. Tony Rennick, no passes, you have 14 points. And our next contender, please. And your name is?
Howard Pitzey.
Your occupation?
Programme Investment Manager.
And your chosen subject?
The Beach Boys.
2 minutes, starting now. Good Vibrations was the Beach Boys' first UK #1 single. What was their second?
Do It Again.
Yes. What was the name of the publishing company holding Brian Wilson's songs, which his father Murray sold in 1969 without Brian's permission?
Sea of Tunes.
Correct. Who temporarily replaced Al Jardine in the group from 62 to 63 while he was studying dentistry?
David Marks.
Correct. Which Beach Boys album provided the inspiration for a 1973 ballet choreographed by the Joffrey Ballet Company?
Little Deuce Coupe.
Correct. What track was on the B-side of the 64 UK Top 30 single, When I Grow Up to Be a Man?
She Knows Me Too Well.
Correct. Who produced the 1985 album The Beach Boys, which features the Stevie Wonder song I Do Love You?
Steve Levine.
Correct. On which record label owned by Herb Newman did the Beach Boys release their first single, Surfin', in 1961?
Candix.
Correct. The tracks How She Boogalooed It and Mama Says were originally released on which Beach Boys album?
Still cruising.
No wild honey. On his death, Dennis Wilson was accorded what honour by Ronald Reagan's government, usually reserved for naval personnel only?
Burial at sea.
Yes. Ricky Fatah and Blondie Chaplin, who joined the group temporarily in the 70s, were members of which South African band?
Flame.
Yes. In 1996, with which British group did the Beach Boys collaborate on a version of their hit single, Fun, Fun, Fun?
Status Quo.
Correct. On the Smile album, eventually released in 2004, what's the title of the fire section in the Elements cycle?
Mrs O'Leary's cow.
It was. The Beach Boys made their first significant live appearance at a memorial concert for whom on the 31st of December 61 in Long Beach.
Richie Valens.
Yes. Which song opens with the lyrics, I've been in this town so long that back in the city I've been taken for lost and gone and unknown for a long, long time.
Heroes and Villains.
Yes, in 1965, which bass player joined the group for the first time, replacing Glenn Campbell, who himself had filled in for Brian Wilson on tour?
Bruce Johnston.
Correct. Which British musician played saxophone on the track It's OK on the 1976 album 15 Big Ones?
Roy Wood.
Correct. What is the title of the Beach Boys' 1970 album, which was their first? I'll finish the question after breaking with Capital the year before.
Sunflower.
Sunflower it was. Again, no passes. 16 points, Howard Pitzey. And our third contender, please. And your name is?
Anthony Martin.
And your occupation?
Administrator.
And your chosen subject?
The history of Exeter.
In 2 minutes, starting now, Exeter City Football Club was formed in 1904 when Exeter United joined forces with which other local club?
St Sidwell's Old Boys.
St Sidwell's United, yes. In 1553, which Bishop of Exeter went into exile on the death of Edward VI because he was deprived of his see?
Miles Coverdale.
Correct. Which cafe was Exeter's premier social spot of the early 20th century and is mentioned in Agatha Christie's The Sittaford Mystery?
Della's.
Yes. For what purpose was the Pitzey house that stood on the city's medieval bridge over the River Exe used?
It was a public toilet.
It was. Which royal princess was born in Bedford House in 1644, the site on which the present head post office stands?
Henrietta Ann.
Correct. Which of the city's 4 main gates was the first to be demolished in 1769?
The North Gate.
Correct. On what date in 1942 did Exeter become the first city to be bombed by the Luftwaffe in the so-called Baedeker raids?
The 4th of May.
The 23rd of April.
Oh.
Which Victorian mayor of Exeter, leading Conservative county cricketer and banker, is portrayed in stained glass in the south aisle of the cathedral as being at the Nativity?
Pass.
Which parish church was heavily damaged during the Civil War but not demolished for more than another 100 years?
All Hallows on the Walls.
Correct. Which king gave Exeter its cap of maintenance and the ceremonial sword that is still used today?
Henry VII.
Yes. Which Roman legion established Exeter between AD 50 and AD 55?
The 2nd Augusta.
Yes. Which building caught fire on the 5th of September 1887, causing the deaths of more than 100 people?
The Theatre Royal.
Yes. The vicar of which church was hung from his tower following the Prayer Book Rebellion of 1549?
St Thomas.
Yes. Which newspaper, founded by printer Andrew Bryce in 1717, fell foul of the House of Commons the following year because it printed their proceedings?
The Exeter Mercury.
The Loyal Mercury. Oh. In which year of the 11th century was Exeter sacked by the Danes after a failed attempt a few years earlier?
1003.
Yes. In which country house outside the city? I'll finish the question. Did Sir John Berkeley and Sir Thomas Fairfax sign the Treaty of Exeter in the spring of 1646?
Poltimore House.
Correct. You had 1 pass, and that was the Victorian mayor of Exeter. He was Edward Sanders. So, Anthony Martin, 1 pass, 13 points. And our final contender, please. And your name is?
Patrick Gibson.
Your occupation?
Software developer.
And your chosen subject?
The films of Quentin Tarantino.
In 2 minutes, starting now. At which film festival did Reservoir Dogs premiere in 1992?
Sundance.
Correct. In Pulp Fiction, when Butch goes to the aid of Marcellus Wallace in the pawn shop, what's the first weapon he picks up before eventually selecting the samurai's sword?
A hammer.
Yes. Tarantino's screenplay for Jackie Brown was based on which novel by Elmore Leonard?
Rum Punch.
Correct. The 1995 film 4 Rooms was directed in collaboration by Tarantino, Alison Anders, Alexander Rockwell and Robert Rodriguez. What was Tarantino's segment called?
The Man from Hollywood.
It was. In Kill Bill Volume 1, the bride, played by Uma Thurman, was once a member of which top assassination squad that included Cottonmouth and Sidewinder amongst its members?
The Divas. Deadly Viper assassination.
Yes. In Reservoir Dogs, what's the real name of the character Mr. Orange, played by Tim Roth?
Freddie Newendike.
Yes. What's the name of the third-rate airline for which Jackie Brown, payed by Pam Grier, works as a flight attendant?
Cabo Air.
Yes. In Pulp Fiction, what's the name of Mia Wallace's failed television pilot show?
Fox Force 5.
Yes. In Kill Bill Volume 1, which martial arts film star plays Hattori Hanzo, who makes a sword for the bride?
Sonny Chiba.
Correct. What was the title of the Alfred Hitchcock Presents television episode which inspired Tarantino's segment in 4 Rooms?
The Man from the South.
It was. In Reservoir Dogs, whose monster truck is specifically mentioned by the DJ on K. Billy's Super Sounds of the 70s?
Don Bodine.
Yes, at the end of Kill Bill Volume 2, the bride and her daughter Bibi watch a video together of which 1980 film?
Shogun Assassin.
Yes, what's the name of the fashion store in which Jackie Brown carries out the sting to beat both the law and the gun dealer Ordell Robbie?
Billingsley's.
Yes, which passage of the Bible does the hitman Jules Winfield say he has memorised in Pulp Fiction?
Ezekiel 25:17.
Correct. Who was the martial arts advisor for the Kill Bill films who was also fight choreographer on the Matrix trilogy?
Yuen Wo Ping.
Correct. Which actor in Reservoir Dogs drives his own Cadillac Coupe de Ville in the film because the budget wasn't big enough to actually buy a car?
Michael Madsen.
Correct. What's the name of the hotel in which the action takes place in 4 Rooms?
The Monsignor.
Correct. In Pulp Fiction, Lance is eating a bug. Finish the question. In Pulp Fiction, Lance is eating a bowl of which cereal when Vincent calls him on his cell phone before crashing his car into Lance's house?
Fruit Brute.
Fruit Brute is right. No passes, all of them right. Patrick Gibson, 18 points.
Thank you.
Well, that brings us to the end of our first round, a very high-scoring one. Let's have a look at those scores. In 4th place with 13 points, Anthony Martin. 3rd place with 14 points, Tony Rennick. 2nd place with 16 points, Howard Pitzey. 1st place with 18 points, Patrick Gibson. So, on to round 2 now, the general knowledge round, and if there's a tie at the end of this round, then the number of passes will be taken into account, and the contender with the fewest passes will be the winner. So, let's get on with it, and let me ask Anthony Martin to join us again, please. And you're the man with a great interest in Exeter, and I'm not being rude to Exeter, I hope, if I say why.
Well, it's a very interesting old town. At one stage, it was the 3rd or 4th most important town in the country.
Really? Because wool, I
Wool
guess.
mainly, yes. I think at one stage about a third of the country's wool passed through Exeter at one stage in its life.
What makes it interesting apart from that? I mean, one of the things that a lot of people know about it, of course, that it was bombed by the Luftwaffe, but not everybody's quite sure why. Why Exeter?
Oh, well, the British Royal Air Force had bombed Lübeck, one of Germany's historic cities, and Hitler wanted his revenge, so he said he'd destroy the jewels of England. Looked in Baedeker, and there was Exeter listed as one of the jewels of England, so that was the reason for the savage attack.
Oh, that explains it, because there was no obvious strategic value.
No military advantage at all. It was just a quiet country city.
Right, well, you scored 13 points with your knowledge of Exeter. Let's see how you do with your general knowledge. 2 minutes starting now. What colour are the kernels of pistachio nuts?
Green?
Yes. The earliest depiction of which national symbol as a female figure reclining on a shield is on a Roman coin issued pre-161 AD?
Britannia.
Yes. Which fellow American did Pete Sampras defeat in straight sets to win the 1999 Wimbledon Men's Singles Championship?
Leighton Hewitt.
Agassiz, who was King of England from 1042 to 1066 and son of Ethelred II the Unready?
Edward the Confessor.
Yes. Which composer, whose operas include The Shaded Don Juan and Cyrano de Bergerac, is best remembered today for completing Puccini's Turandot?
Pass.
What is the common name for the viral condition herpes zoster?
Shingles.
Yes. What name is given to the lunar phase which comes between a new moon and the first quarter?
A crescent.
Yes. Which family of marine mammals are the most numerous members of the suborder Pinnipedia?
Seals.
Yes. Connemara is the western part of which Irish county?
Tyrone.
Galway. How did John Mortimer's creation Horace Rumpole frequently refer to his wife Hilda?
She who must be obeyed.
Indeed. Which British artist sculpted the lions at the base of Nelson's column in Trafalgar Square?
Landseer.
Yes. What name is given to the long, narrow, rock-bound inlets found particularly on the coast of Norway?
Fjords.
Yes. Which type of tea is named after a British statesman who's said to have been given the recipe for it by a Chinese mandarin?
Earl Grey.
Yes. Which large island is separated from Australia by the Torres Strait?
New Guinea.
Yes. Which plant has the scientific name Trifolium because it normally has 3 leaves?
Clover.
Yes. What animal did Robert Burns describe as a wee, slicket, cowering, timorous beastie?
The mouse.
Yes. With which all-girl pop group did Beyoncé Knowles first come to prominence?
Pass.
With which country did Germany sign the so-called Boundary and Friendship Treaty in September 1939?
Austria.
The Soviet Union. So, 2 passes there. The pop group with which Beyoncé Knowles first came to prominence was Destiny's Child, and Alfano was the composer who completed Turandot. So, 2 passes. Anthony Martin, 26 points. And now Tony Rennick, please. Now, I hope you'll forgive me for pointing out something that I'm sure you're well aware of. People think that people who are fascinated by steam trains are anoraks.
No, we're ferroequinologists.
You're what?
Yeah, study the iron horse.
You're
It's in the dictionary now. Yeah, it's a real word.
ferro.
Equinologist.
But why steam trains? I mean, why not the trains that followed them?
Well,
why
no
didn't you
character.
take
They've got no
them?
character. I mean, a steam engine, you had to talk to it nicely to make it work. You know, you don't just turn a key and it goes. I mean, there was hours of preparation in getting them going. And there was this smell and the noise of a goods train working hard to go up a hill. It's unforgettable.
But travelling on them, I don't know we see it all through rose-coloured glasses now, but travelling on them was pretty awful, wasn't it? I mean, you open the window and you get bits in your eye.
That's part of the fun. And sooty,
filthy, you got
sooty
filthy.
finger marks all over your sandwiches. Bottle of warm ties, a Gabardine Mac. What more could you want?
Well, I can think of a few things, but... Right, well, you scored 14 points with trains. Let's see how you do with general knowledge. 2 minutes, starting now. What was the name of the club in Harlem which became a world-famous jazz venue in the 1920s?
Cotton Club.
Yes, on which Mediterranean island is Mount Olympus the highest point at more than 6,400 feet?
Rhodes.
Cyprus. Who first began putting his own labels on musical instruments in 1666 while claiming to be a pupil of Niccolo Amati?
Stradivarius.
Yes.
Stradivarius.
What is the first name of Gianni Versace's sister who took over as head designer for the Versace label after his death?
Donatella.
Yes. What was the name of the so-called third man in the Burgess and MacLean case who defected to Moscow in 1963 and died there in 1988?
Kim Philby.
Yes. What's the name of the optimistic philosopher in Voltaire's Candide who holds that all is for the best in the best of all possible worlds?
Pass.
In which country is the sweet wine Tokay made mainly from the ferment grape?
Hungary.
Yes. Which American novelist became a spokesman for the Beat Generation with novels such as On the Road and The Dharma Bums?
Jack Kerouac.
Yes. The Marquess of Hartington is a courtesy title held by the eldest son of which duke?
Duke of Gloucester.
Devonshire. Scots-born American Ian McGregor was appointed chairman of which organisation in March 1983?
ICI.
National Coal Board. Who led the team of scientists that produced the first self-sustaining nuclear chain reaction in a squash court at the University of Chicago in December 42?
Oppenheimer.
Fermi, Enrico Fermi. Which British overseas territory is one of the legendary Pillars of Hercules?
Gibraltar.
Yes, the German architect Walter Gropius founded which school of design, architecture and applied art in 1919?
Bauhaus.
Yes, what term is used in Australia for a person in charge of cattle or other livestock?
Drover.
Stockman. Which Oscar-winning actor plays the title role in the film The Life and Death of Peter Sellers?
Pass.
Who composed the music for the operettas The Desert Song and The Student Prince?
Pass.
In which mountain range do the Missouri, Rio Grande, Columbia and Colorado rivers rise?
Rockies.
Yes. Which Britain's third place in the 76 Japanese Grand Prix was enough to make him World Motor Racing Champion?
James Hunt.
James Hunt it was. 3 passes. It was Romberg, Sigmund Romberg, who composed the music. Geoffrey Rush was the actor who played Peter Sellers. And Dr. Pangloss said, all is for the best in the best of all possible worlds. 3 passes. Tony Rennick, 24 points. And now Howard Pitzey, please. So, you like the Beach Boys?
I do very much.
Why?
They were one of the few groups who survived the British invasion in the early 60s. And
Yeah.
they had, I particularly liked them because they had wonderful harmonies. And Brian Wilson wrote some great songs.
And what has happened to the Beach Boys? Because you keep hearing that they're getting together again. I mean, two of them have died anyway.
That's right, Dennis and Carl have died, but at the moment there are two rival groups both calling themselves the Beach Boys. Well, actually one of them is called the Beach Boys Family and Friends. So there's two rival groups at the moment, and Brian Wilson is concentrating on his solo career, so I don't think there's any real hope of them reforming.
Well, you know a lot about them. You scored 16 points. Let's see how you do with your general knowledge. 2 minutes starting now. Whose first science fiction novel based on a radio series was The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy?
Douglas Adams.
Yes, which composer born in Liège was professor of organ music at the Paris Conservatoire from 1872 till his death in 1890?
Frank.
Yes, which gas used in welding has the formula C2H2?
Methane.
No, acetylene or ethine. Which spaghetti western had the original title Il Buono, Il Brutto, Il Cattivo?
The Good, the Bad and the Ugly.
Yes, the Jade Gate Pass stands at the western end of which construction?
The Berlin Wall.
Great Wall of China. In Shakespeare's play Hamlet, what was the name of Hamlet's mother?
Gertrude.
Yes, whose gang is believed to have carried out the so-called St. Valentine's Day massacre in 1929?
Al Capone's.
Yes, which architect's Swiss rebuilding, known as the Gherkin, won the 2004 Sterling Prize?
Pass.
Which woman broke the 5-minute time barrier for the women's mile just 23 days after Roger Bannister ran the first sub-4-minute mile?
Diane Leather.
Yes, Rembrandt's painting The Militia Company of Captain Franz Banning-Kock and Lieutenant Willem van Ruytenbach was later given an erroneous title. What title?
The Night Watch.
Yes, the 1943 horror film I Walk with a Zombie borrowed ideas for its plot from which novel by Charlotte Bronte?
Jane Eyre.
Yes, what term from the Greek for few is applied to rule or government by a small exclusive group?
Oligarchy.
Correct. Which region is sometimes referred to as the toe of Italy's boot?
Campania.
Calabria. Which Greek hero killed the Trojan prince Hector during the Trojan War?
Achilles.
Yes. What is the more common name for calcium oxide?
Pass.
Which member of the herring family, an important food fish in North America, is thought to get its best-known name from its portly shape?
Pass.
John Adams was the second holder of which office between 1797 and 1801?
President of the USA.
Correct. The anatomical name for which bone in the arm is derived from the Latin for shoulder?
The humerus.
The humerus is right. You had 3 passes. Alewife is that strange name for that member of the herring family. Quicklime is the more common name for calcium oxide, and Sir Norman Foster was the architect of the Gherkin. 3 passes, Howard Pitzey. You've now got 28 points.
Thank you.
And now Patrick Gibson, please. And it doesn't get much more close and tense and exciting than this. Quentin Tarantino, or Blood and Guts, is that it?
No, there's more to him than that. Some of his films, Kill Bill 1, certainly can be accused of having a great deal of violence. But in his first 2 films, Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction, most of the violence is implicit, it's implied, it's not actually seen. And he delivers a tremendous emotional impact without actually showing any gore at all, really.
Yes, I suppose it depends what you're comparing it with, doesn't it?
Yes, I suppose. It's against compared with Merchant Ivory Productions, it's a bit racy.
Yeah.
But compared with Sam Peckinpah, it's probably quite tame.
Yeah, quite. Now, you won £1 million on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Yes, yes.
And the obvious question is, how has it changed your life? Has it changed your life?
It has made a difference. I work part-time now. I work half the hours I used to work. So that
But you still work?
I do still work. But I work week on, week off. And that's been a tremendous change.
Did it affect the way people react to you, you know, friends and family? And
Not really, I don't think so. Initially, for the first few days, it was remarkable. I was being stopped in the street, and in London I was stopped by businessmen and cleaners who recognised me, and I was stopped in motorway service areas. But that died off. I don't think now it makes a great difference.
So if we offered you £1 million, I mean, hang on, somebody is telling me in my ear, don't go down that road. I think it unlikely. Right, well, you don't get $1 million if you do win this contest, but it's the honour, of course, and you have 28 points to beat, and you start out with 18 points. Let's see if you can do it. 2 minutes on general knowledge, starting now. The SI unit of force is named after which English scientist and mathematician?
Isaac Newton.
Correct. Olympus Mons, probably the highest volcano in the solar system, is on which planet?
Mars.
Correct. Which opera by Verdi is based on Victor Hugo's play Le Roi s'amuse?
Rigoletto.
Yes. Which World War II flying boat was nicknamed the Flying Porcupine by the Luftwaffe because of its heavy defensive armament?
The Sunderland.
Yes. Ben Kingsley won a Best Actor Oscar for his role in which 1982 film?
Gandhi.
Yes. Which Hebridean island became the first in Britain to be owned by its community when the absentee landlord was bought out in '97 for £1.5 million?
Gia.
Egg. The naming of the 32 points of a compass in correct order, usually in a clockwise direction, is known as what?
Pointing the compass.
Boxing the compass. Mountaineer Sir Edmund Hillary was born in which country?
New Zealand.
Yes. Which psychiatrist developed the concepts of introverted and extroverted personality archetypes and the collective unconscious?
Freud.
Jung. The name of which Caribbean island means rich port in Spanish?
Puerto Rico.
Correct. Which institution was founded by William Paterson in 1694, nationalised in 1946?
Bank of England.
Yes, in Pickwick Papers. Where was Mr Wardle's house, Manor Farm, where the Pickwickians spent a very merry Christmas?
Lewisham.
Dingley Dell. Which golfer won the HSBC World Match Play Championship at Wentworth for a record 6th time in October 2004?
Ernie Els.
Correct. On the flag of Israel, what colour is the Star of David?
Blue.
Correct. What is the West Country dialect name for rough cider, coming from a word for withered or stunted apples?
Scrumpy.
Correct. Which Mughal emperor ordered the building of the Taj Mahal as a mausoleum to his favourite wife?
Shah Jahan.
Correct. Which Rear Admiral commanded the naval task force sent to recapture the Falklands in 1982?
Sandy Woodward.
Yes, in the Stanley Holloway monologue, how did Albert Ramsbottom meet his end at Blackpool Zoo?
He was eaten by a lion.
He was. Which controversial building designed by Collinson John Wilson is situated next to St Pancras Station?
The New British Library.
Yes, beta-carotene, first isolated from carrots in 1831, is the most important source of which vitamin?
D.
No, it is vitamin A. But it doesn't really matter because you had no passes. You have, and I think this is the highest score I've recorded on this programme personally, 33 points. Well, at the end of the contest, what a contest, let's have a look at the scores. In 4th place with 24 points, normally enough to win, is Tony Rennick. In 3rd place with 26 points, Anthony Martin. In 2nd place, 28 points, Howard Pitzey. In 1st place with a remarkable 33 points, Patrick Gibson. Which means, of course, that Patrick Gibson goes through to the next round. Congratulations to him. Please join us next time for more Masterminds. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.
Heading for us tonight on BBC Two, the scenario of a mega tsunami. Could we survive it? The latest science puts us in the path of a catastrophe at 9. On the way next, it's the final Great British Bake Off on BBC Two.